A control without proof is like a lock without a key. It looks secure, but it is useless. We have already covered compliance from a regulatory standpoint in Module 4. In this module, we focus on assurance, proving that your controls are not just in place, but they are actually working. In banking, this is not optional. Regulators, auditors, and even customers, they expect evidence that the promises you make in policies and risk registers are backed up by real and functioning safeguards. We will look at how continuous compliance monitoring, regulator testing, and independent assurance play into building that evidence. By the end of this module, you will see why assurance is the bridge between good intentions and regulatory trust, and why it's a core part of a mature GRC program. So let's talk about compliance and assurance, the actual doing of what you say in your policies and frameworks. It's easy to have a security policies that says all endpoints will have EDR with real-time alerting. But is it installed on all devices, actually running and connected? Is it alerting in real time? And is it producing meaningful outcomes? This is what assurance validates. Not just do we have it, but is it actually working? Banks use a control coverage formula. That is deployment percentage multiplied by operational percentage multiplied by effectiveness percentage. Take the example of 83% of endpoints have the control. Of those, 95% are functioning, but only 50% actually detect threat promptly. Your true coverage is therefore only 39%. And this number matters. Why? Because regulators like the PRA and FCA want to know your controls work, not just that you bought them. Audit committees want metrics. Customers expect control evidence, especially in B2B banking or fintech services. And if you are outsourcing services, your supplier's control coverage becomes your risk too. And this is where GRC assurance really earns its keep, by measuring reality, not intention. Now, here's the truth many people in GRC won't say out loud. Controls fail all the time, even in the best banks. And it's not always because of laziness or incompetence. It's often because real world complexity breaks neat designs. Here are a few common failure points. A firewall rule works great until a legacy system is migrated and excluded. Your antivirus tool is deployed, but it's not getting updates on 10% of laptops. You have got a segregation of duty policies, but a new hire was misclassified and now has dual access. Or people just find clever ways around controls to get the job done. These failures show up in the internal audits, red team assessments, regulator findings, post-incident reviews, and that's okay. Control failure is not the end of the world. It's feedback. What actually matters is, do you catch it? Do you learn from it? And do you improve it? Banks that approach assurance with a "we are curious, not critical" mindset build better cultures and more resilient systems. Let's now focus on control assurance in simple terms. Well, this means checking whether our security controls are actually doing their job. There are three big questions. Is the control deployed where it needs to be? Is it operational, meaning it runs as intended every day? And is it effective, meaning it successfully prevents or detects the threat it's meant to? These are also three assurance dimensions that help us understand how strong or weak our control checking process is. Passive versus active. Passive assurance might mean reviewing a document or policy. Active means testing the control, like simulating an attack or pulling live system data. Manual versus automated. Manual assurance could be a checklist filled out by a team. Automated assurance might use dashboards or continuous scanning tools that monitor compliance in real time. Dependent versus independent. Dependent assurance is when the same team running the control also reports on it. Independent assurance means a separate audit or GRC functions validated, or even an external auditor. In banking, we commonly use control self-assessment (CSA), independent configuration reviews, metrics like KPIs and KRIs, key performance indicators and key risk indicators, penetration testing or red teaming. But the best type of assurance is emulation, simulating a real attack and seeing if the control holds up. And remember, assurance is only useful if it leads to remediation. If we test a control, find it failing and do nothing, we haven't reduced risk. We have just moved it to a folder called known problems. Let's finish the assurance picture by talking about external assurance. When an outside party checks your control, this could be a formal regulatory review from the FCA or PRA, an annual ISO 27001 surveillance audit, a penetration test performed by an approved third party, or a client asking for evidence of control strength as part of due diligence. Banks typically face three types of external assurance timings. Number one, periodic, like an annual SOC 2 or ISO 27 or ISO certification. Random, such as a surprise spot check from regulators. Post-event, after a breach or incident to confirm root causes remediation. The benefits of external assurance is that it's independent and credible. It proves trust, not just internally to the board or audit committee, but externally to auditors and clients. And most importantly, external assurances need to be tailored to risk. You don't run the same intensity of audit on a training portal as you would do on your Swift gateway or customer onboarding platform. High-risk systems and third-party providers should have more frequent assurance, deeper testing, and tighter review timelines. The GRC functions plays a key role in coordinating and interpreting these reviews and making sure findings get tracked, owned, and closed.